All right, what's up, everybody? So thanks for jumping on tonight. Or today, I should say, a little bit of a day drinking. So I'm at Twisted Path Distillery with owner, distiller Brian, and he was nice enough to have me down today for a little bit of a pre-tasting. Tomorrow they have an event, I think beginning at 1 p.m. on Saturday. So it'll be more to the public. Everybody, he's going to be introducing his whiskeys. Again, I think this is the second release.
That's right.
So we got basically 2 ryes, a kind of a single barrel, and then is this a bottle and bond?
This is a bottle and bond, yeah,
Okay.
bottle and bond, a single barrel at barrel proof, and
Okay.
that one happened to skyrocket and go to 140 and a half proof.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's,
so we're into HAZMAT. So that's where we're at today, Twisted Path. It's basically downtown Milwaukee. So if anybody's ever in the Milwaukee area, make sure you stop by. In addition to some of their whiskeys, which they're only doing maybe 2 or 3 releases per year. And that's the idea, to keep it kind of small and craft a little bit from that standpoint. And always have something that's good, not a young product that's always being put out. This is because he's passionate about whiskey, and he wants people who are also passionate about whiskey to enjoy this stuff. So that's the idea behind that. So we're going to do a little live tasting. Hey, let me know, and we'll kind of get at it. So, and what I'll have him do is I'll have Brian just kind of talk a little bit about each one that we're tasting. And yeah, again, if you're ever in the area, stop in and check things out. So which one are we going to start with first?
So start with the bottle and bond, which I hadn't totally explained. It's so bottle and bond over 4 years, obviously, close to 5 actually, 100 proof. This is a combination of 2 barrels, barrels that I had numbered 13 and 14. Okay. So the barrel proof one, they're all about the same age, but the barrel proof one is barrel 11. This is 13 and 14 combined. They complemented each other well. But they're all the same grain bill. Actually, it's about 60% rye, 40% corn.
Okay.
Right about there. But so this is at 100 proof. We'll start at the lower proof before we go to 140 and completely fry ourselves. Yeah, the way I'm making whiskey is the way I like to drink whiskey, which is to constantly try new things.
Yeah.
So every whiskey I make is virtually different. I do I'll maybe do a couple batches in a row that are the same on paper, and then let the barrels do the variation, and then I'll switch it up and do something different. Different yeast, different fermentation temperature, different distilling technique, different grain bill, different source of grain, different strain of grain. And so the idea is a couple times a year I'll have these releases, but they'll be different every time.
Yeah.
So
which is nice.
Yeah. The idea is build a fan base of people that like what I do, and I make whiskey for them. Because everybody I know that's really into whiskey, they like to try new things all the time.
Well, and I know just from talking to you prior, you kind of like nerd out a little bit with the grain bills and all those, and trying different things. And I like that about, how you kind of have things set up a little bit, where you want to try something different all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a distiller trying to learn business. I'm a distiller that went pro, not a business guy trying to figure out distilling.
Which is fine. I mean,
I geek out on the distilling part and making things and drinking them. And then, I could get some outside help on the marketing stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, the important part is the whiskey, and people being able to come and try it, share it with friends, family, all that kind of stuff. So, All right, so we'll get into a little bit of the nosing. And again, so just to show you guys, is it okay if I?
Yeah, of course. Okay.
So here's kind of what we're trying first. So hopefully that's coming through okay. I'll kind of give it a little spin so you'll see.
So yeah, these are our experimental series labels, which is for things that we do small batch out of the tasting room, so we don't print 10,000 labels for something we have 10 bottles of, and then we stamp on it or handwrite on it.
Yeah.
For the specific thing. So we got a little rye stamp and a little bottom.
Which is
stamp.
nice. I think people like that kind of that personal touch a little bit. Everyone loves handwriting and all of those.
Yeah, we actually do it for logistic reasons, not marketing, right? Like that's because we only have 200 some of these.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so we'll get into a little nosing here. So. So my first thing with this is like a little bit of like a peanut brittle and some cinnamon.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah,
I can see that.
So you get a little bit of that. Obviously, the rye is there. I mean, that's a predominant note. I mean, it's an aggressive grain already. So even a little bit of a boy, there's a, for me, it's almost a, it's weird. Like there's this like finishing aspect it has to me. And as much as I want to say cognac, there's a little bit of a,
I was going to say like a sort of a caramely, like, and
Yeah,
cognac
it-
tends to have a caramely because of the way
Yeah.
they caramelize it in the open flame, the
there's a
still.
nice, there's a nice char to it. What what's the char level of these?
These are 4.
Okay, so heavy. All
Yeah.
right, so that's nice. I mean, I think that's where you start to get all those, the vanillas and the caramels,
Yep.
you know, all
Yep.
that kind of, that richness. So, yeah, so really, really nice, you know, and not a lot of ethanol, which is nice. You know, you don't want it blowing you away.
Right.
Really nice, smooth. All right, let's try this one. Cheers. Cheers to you guys. Nice sweet rye, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
Punches you. It gets you right there. Now again, this is my first sip of the day.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you got to warm up.
yeah, so it'll warm,
I was
up
drinking
a little bit, so it'll shock you.
I was drinking the 140 earlier, so
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
so you're already warmed up. Yeah, so the next one's a real treat. I mean, we're into HAZMAT, 140 plus proof. So that one's gonna be crazy. So, but yeah, a lot of those sweet, rich characteristics, nice rye. And I would say for me, over the past probably year and a half, 2 years, I've really started to enjoy rye whiskey much more than I ever did before. I mean, it's just one of those things where outside of bourbon, you get a lot of different profiles. There's so many different ones. And I would say for me, what I was so wishing that wasn't going to happen was to get that big dill aspect. Like I'm not a
Right.
fan of the dill in a rye whiskey, and this is a little bit more of that mint. You start to, now that the finish is kind of
almost a little menthol-y.
little menthol there.
Yep.
That's there. So, but really, really nice.
Yeah, to me, it's got a nice amount of rye spice at the beginning.
Yeah.
Along with a little bit of like a fruity top note, or like dried fruit top note.
I can
and
see
then,
that.
And then sort of a big round caramely
Yeah.
body. But then
Yeah.
this is one that I, more so than some, that I actually kind of want to move it around my whole mouth.
Yeah,
You know,
and-
some I kind of want to have go straight back. This one I like the way it coats.
Exactly. So I was going to say that. So, I mean, that's nice. Have a good mouthfeel, a whiskey that coats your mouth really well. I mean, that's what helps with all the flavor. I mean, the long finish, all of that. And it has there's that nice oak presence that's there to it. There's a little bit of a drying aspect, I would say, to it as well, which I like. I like that oaky, dry. And this isn't over oak by any means. So Mash and Drum, he's got a nice whiskey channel himself. So Jason, Trev, thanks guys. So yeah, it's a really nice mouth coating rye whiskey. So really
This is
nice.
one that I have a
That cinnamon
I
is
have a
really-
hard time stop sipping in the
Yeah,
evening.
it's very, very sippable. That's for sure. So man, that is really those caramels. It's a nice long finish. The more I keep talking and yapping my gums, the longer that finish is, the more that sweetness, that barrel, that rye really
I
starts
like
to
how
kinda
long
come
it
out.
lingers too, from a perspective of a
does.
normal person that doesn't drink all day.
Yeah.
Like when I can only have a couple ounces at the end of the workday, kind of
Yeah.
thing, and it's just like I kind of try to I want
Yeah.
them to last as long as I
Yeah.
can, and nurse it a bit.
It's
having
all
that
of that.
long finish is kind of nice because I can enjoy
Yeah.
a couple ounces
Yeah.
over a longer period.
And you can see that for sure. I mean, that's the thing. You're not constantly having to go back. You know, you're not searching. It's not totally drawing out your palate. It coats the mouth really well, and it does. It really, really lingers there nicely. Yeah, and as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's really oily. Are you doing any chill filtering or anything like
Nope.
that with this? Okay, so non-chill
I put
filter.
it through a particulate filter as I pull it out of the barrel just to get char chunk
Yeah.
out, but that's
and,
it.
And I think all of us, I mean, anybody who's probably watching this or down the road, so the importance of the non-chill filtering is that it leaves a lot of those fatty acids, a
Yep.
lot of those things behind, that allows for it to be a nice mouth coating, all of that.
Yep.
So
and I'm
that's,
sure if you cooled it down in the right pace, it would fog up and all that, which is what chill filtering is there to get rid of.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think a lot of
we
us
don't do that.
and probably you as well. Yeah, I mean, I think we all like that. I mean, that leaves a lot of those particulars behind that allow for that flavor to be there.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, we've all had 100 proof stuff that's bottle and bond or whatever it may be that's chill filtered, and it doesn't have a lot of flavor. Well, when you're
it removes a little bit of body, right?
Yep.
Like it's the oils and things that
it
that are sort of from a tails cut, actually.
It does. It does.
Early tails.
So for anybody who's just coming in now, so this is their bottle and bond. This is going to be a 2, maybe 3 time a year release by design. So it's not going to always be
different. Each release will be different.
That's important. So it's always going to be different, like Brian said. So that's really important. But again, a really, really nice rye whiskey. That spearmint really starts to linger there a little bit more.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing that sticks with you the longest.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It's really nice. So after this one, we're going to be trying basically HAZMAT. What is it?
140.5.
140.5 proof. So
which is a little intimidating.
That's
But after a few sips, I found that I mean, I even like it right off the bat. But then once my palate warms up a little bit, I just really want to dive in and have more of it, which is kind of problematic when it's at that high proof.
Well, I mean, if you can get the palate like quickly acclimated to it, I mean, and it's not super hot, 140 can be a very dangerous sipper.
It doesn't sip like 140.
Yeah, you know. So, all right, so we'll move on to what I'm going to keep referring to as the HAZMAT, and again, Brian can probably explain a little bit more about what this. So this is going to be the barrel proof rye whiskey single barrel.
Barrel proof single barrel, barrel 11, and you know, as with any rye, by law, I went in under 125.
Okay.
I think this went in somewhere between 120 and 125. Okay. But it just skyrocketed in the barrel over the past 4, almost 5 years, and went over. It just went crazy.
And it's all basically barreled here.
I do everything here.
Yeah.
This is entirely from scratch distillery. So I make all of the booze entirely from scratch. Raw fermentable ingredients. I don't source anything.
Okay.
I mean, I don't source any alcohol.
Right.
I've had alcohol salespeople show up and they're like, "Hey, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, you're a sales guy. What are you selling?" And he's like, "I'm bulk ethanol." Yeah. And I was like, "Oh well, I don't buy bulk ethanol." And he was like, "What do you mean? What do you use for your vodka or for your gin or whatever?" I was like, I distill it.
Yeah.
It says distillery on the front, man.
Yeah.
What do you think I do here?
Which is important. I mean,
and he was totally surprised.
Yeah.
Which is saying
Which
a lot.
is important. I mean, you've got like basically grain to glass for the most part.
Yes.
I mean, you've got somebody
or
who's
molasses to glass for rum.
Or that's true. He's got rum
fermentable
too.
to glass.
You've got rum and stuff. So I mean, that's the one thing that I appreciate is the passion behind a lot of these, you know, people who have the passion that Brian does, because it will translate for sure into the whiskey. If you're just trying to produce this stuff for a monetary value, which obviously everyone's in it for that, we get that.
I do need to make a living.
You do need to make a living, but at the same time, you've got the passion. You want to make sure that
I got into it because I like making stuff, not because I like selling stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that
which is important.
That's a difference.
It's a good way to start rather than the other way.
Yeah.
You know, if you start out just wanting to make money and you loosely care about the product, it's probably not the right order to go in. So you got it from the right way. So all right, we're gonna nose the 140.5 proof. So this is a big boy. So you know what? The first thing is not only do I get like a lot of chocolate, this like kind of like baking powder chocolate, but there's almost no burn.
You're right.
For
I totally get chocolate. I hadn't placed that, but you're right.
It's a dark berry. There's a dark berry like chocolate, like either a baking chocolate or like not like a chocolate drink powder, but more of like a rich like baking powder type of note. But a lot of like dark berry, a lot of dark fruit that's there as well. So, boy. And this is going to be kind of funny, but I almost get a Coca-Cola kind of nose, like a soda sweetness to it.
Interesting. Like vanilla, maybe it's tied to vanilla.
Maybe.
Is that...
I mean, it's almost like if it's Coca-Cola or like a root beer. There's this herbal sweetness with that chocolate. I don't. It's a nice nose for me.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's a really nice nose.
See, I already know what it's going to taste like, so I totally have my mind focused on what, because I know what it tastes like.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, again, this is my first time trying and nosing all this, but it's really, really rich. So that's nice. My wife's in the background, so she's shaking her head too. So, but really, really
positive review off stage, right?
I love that richness. Anytime you like smell something or nose it like right away, and it's got this like deep like boldness. Yeah. I love that dark kind of like the plum, that like almost where a dark fruit is about ready to turn, where there's that sweetness that comes out of it. So all right, we're gonna try this. I gotta try this after nosing. I gotta try it. Cheers. Wow. Man, it's like...
It doesn't sip 140.
No, there's some heat. I mean, hey, don't fool. I mean, 140 is going to have a little bit of heat, but it does not... It's not like blowing you away with what you would think it is.
On the numbers, I wouldn't think I could just enjoy sipping a 140, but
no, it's very, very sippable. So, Patrick, so Whiskey Den, he's got a whiskey tube or whiskey review channel as well. He's up in the I think Madison area. We've even got some Canadians in here.
Huh. Yeah, I mean one of the things that I think is fun about this is some of the early notes that you get right when you first sip it that are like some sort of tropical fruit and bright fruits.
Yeah.
That I think came from stressing the yeast a little at fermentation, and then in the late heads cut. So that's one of the things based on tasting this barrel, then like later experiments and later batches I've been playing around with as a result of having tasted this and what it did.
It does not drink 140 proof like at all. I mean, it's really, really smooth. I mean, I know people hate
the word smooth, yeah.
But yeah. It's just a good descriptor of like, it's not like you're pouring gasoline down your throat.
Yeah.
It's this smooth richness that it has to
yeah, and I mean, I think some whiskey friends were describing the other day at Distill America about how, it's fun when a whiskey sort of doesn't sip its proof. And I think that's maybe, this is still 140. So it's not like it's easy sipping for somebody that's used to 80 proof Pablum whiskey, right? Like, but it belies its actual proof how it sips, and that like relative smoothness. I don't know. I'm hesitant to use the word smooth, but sort of like it's easier drinking than you'd expect for its proof.
No doubt.
It's less solventy, less burny.
And I would say for anybody who loves a good like high proof, rye whiskey, this is a really nice.
And beyond
really
that,
nice
I think what's great about this is that that's nice as far as its drinkability, but the flavor profile of it, and then because it's a barrel proof, it's so concentrated in there.
Yeah.
Those are like the fruit notes, and then classic rye, and then just this nice long finish.
Yeah. And there's that nice dryness. There's that oakiness, but you get that rye. For me, kind of comes in late. And for me, it's like mid to way in the back of the palate where I pick up a lot of that rye. It's sweet up front.
Yeah.
And then that rye and the heat kind of kicks in a little bit late. But that bold richness is, I love that part of a really nice high proof rye whiskey. This is barrel proof. So again, we're 140.5 proof. So this is a big boy. This is about as big as it's going to get. For the most part.
It could go a little higher, I guess.
There's not many out there that are above 140 proof. So for people who enjoy high proof whiskeys,
strange phenomenon of barrel.
It's crazy. That's a very interesting thing. And being here in the state of Wisconsin, we get a bad rap about it always being cold. It gets hot here. It's hot and humid. So we're dealing with a lot of the expansion and contraction and in and out of those barrels. So, we've got a pretty good climate for being able to produce some pretty good whiskey. So
I thought you were going down the road of now that I drank this, I don't need a jacket.
Yeah, you won't. If you're in the Midwest, you're ice fishing. If you want to come down here tomorrow and we want to get it for maybe, well, we probably don't have much ice fishing left anymore.
I don't know.
But
It's helpful short of dying. Like just as long as you don't die, it will make it less unpleasant.
And I would probably say if push came to shove and your car was running out of gas, there's maybe a chance you could pour this in. Probably not. A little bit of a joke, but an absolutely fantastic whiskey. So I mean, top notch. I mean, I love the boldness of it. So I mean, they're doing a good job. So with that being said, so I'm at Twisted Path Distillery. Brian, owner, distiller, very passionate about it. Thanks for having me down.
I should probably mention the release tomorrow. You know, it's at 1 p.m. here. That's the only place you can get this whiskey. And the last release was a year ago. It was a full year ago. It was about the same number of bottles, it was a little fewer bottles, but it sold out in about 6 hours.
Yeah, so get down
here. So
it's
likely to be kind of tomorrow only.
Yeah, and tomorrow Saturday it's tomorrow the
7th.
So when he says tomorrow Saturday, March 7th, 1 p.m. So if you want to 2020, exactly, it's important. So come on down if you're local at all. You will not be disappointed. So thanks everybody for joining, and for anybody watching the replay. If somehow you catch it tonight or down the road, just make sure you at some point get down to Twisted Path Distillery in downtown Milwaukee. So thanks guys, I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.